everyone, my name is Laura Lee Cochran. I am the writer and the director of the mysterious disappearance of Carly Dean. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I'm super excited. This is our second show. Our opening night went absolutely wonderful. I'm very happy to have been able to work with my cast for this long, for around a month or so. They have been working really, really hard to pull this off, and it's been really awesome to see them bring my characters come to life on the screen. So I do want to thank you for coming in. You guys should totally, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, totally subscribe to YouTube. And of course, follow ACT on Instagram at ACTUTK. But yeah, so I want to thank ACT, of course, for letting us do this production. But I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to thank you for coming to the show. And of course, I proudly present the mysterious disappearance of Carly Dean.
Scene 1. The scene opens in a cabin at Camp Layside. The cabin holds a set of bunk beds pushed into the corner, a table folded against it. There are 5 seats filled by our nervous teens who await the officer's arrival. Mrs. Brandy leads Officer Stillwell and Officer Marsh into the cabin to meet the witnesses.
Thank you so much for coming, officers. The other counselors and I are way out of our power with this one. We've never had a camper disappear before.
Well, I assure you, we will find Carly Dean and place her back in her parents' arms as soon as we can.
Yes, of course we will try our best, but we can't guarantee anything.
Yes, I suppose so. Anyway, I have the 5 kids that were last seen with Carly Dean over in the corner. They haven't said anything yet. Guess they're too scared of getting in trouble. You two are free to use all this space for all your investigating.
Thank you. That's very generous.
Thank you. Is there any more information you can give us?
Well, Carly Dean was a quiet girl. Didn't make many friends, even though this is her second year at Camp Layside. So I tried to pick some students that would, bring her out of her shell a little bit, to be in her group.
And you said that they were making a project?
Yes, officer. There are 6 groups, and I told them to just find somewhere in camp to make it.
Where did these 5 choose to go?
Oh, they went towards the end of the camp, darling, but not too far. Camp Layside is a small camp, so there isn't many places for them to run off to. As for the other groups, I know 2 were in the cafeteria, 3 decided to work in the cabins, and the last group, of course, is sitting over there. But really, we don't mind where they wander off to, as long as they stay away from the river.
Why the river?
Well, around this time of year, the water rush is like no other. We don't want them playing around over there and getting themselves hurt.
Thank you. What was your name again, ma'am?
Susan Brandy.
Well, thank you, Susan, for your help.
Yes, thank you, but we need to get to work.
Of course. I'll be out here if you need anything. Now, you 5, behave yourselves. These officers are here to do their job, and I expect you to show them the utmost respect they deserve. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that, Marsh?
What was what?
You know we can't promise anything, let alone the life of a young girl.
Oh, that. I was just trying to help.
We don't know how this case will end. And it won't help with you giving false hope left and right. What were you thinking?
I don't know.
There are no excuses in the field, Marsh. Make sure it doesn't happen again, or I will have you kicked off this case.
It won't. I promise.
Good. Now, tell me what we know about these kids.
Well, we know they all had contact with Carly Dean before the time of her disappearance. Here we have Eliana Bays, Kyler Jones, John Baldwin, Alissa Hans, and Logan Everts. As Susan said, these 5 were assigned in a group with Carly Dean to create a new logo for Camp Layside. There were 6 other groups, but they were nowhere near the area. These 5 are the only witnesses.
Susan said the others were close to camp. Well, this group decided to choose some secluded area? It seems suspicious.
She also said that they were near the end of camp. Where is the end of camp?
It's just past the hiking trail. It's about a 15-minute walk just to get there.
Why would they want to go so far out, especially in this heat?
There's a missing girl. Why else would they go that far out if it wasn't...
Just because they went out that far doesn't mean they were responsible, Matthew.
But that doesn't mean their hands are clean now, does it? Just let me do the talking.
Sir, what are we here for?
Isn't it obvious? They think we have something to do with Carly Dean.
What? That's crazy. I hardly know the girl. Dude, can we just go?
I am an officer of the law. Do not call me dude.
We didn't do anything, officer.
We never said you did.
Well, anyway, I'm Officer...
I am Officer Stillwell, and this is my partner, Officer Marsh.
Hello, officers. I'm John Baldwin.
And who gave you permission to speak?
No one, sir.
And be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Dude, go easy on the kid. He's a suck-up.
I beg your pardon?
You know, a suck-up, also known as a kiss-up, a teacher's pet, or a yes-man. You can't help that he needs to be liked all the time by everyone.
At least I'm not a prankster like you are, Logan.
Would you two just shut up?
Look, I'd do anything you'd tell me to do.
Logan?
No! I don't have to listen to her. She thinks she's the boss of me, and guess what? She isn't.
Keep your mouth shut, mister, or you will find yourself in a holding cell for the night.
That's a bit extreme, Stillwell. Maybe we
Look, lady, I didn't even want to be at the stupid camp in the first place, much less be stuck here listening to Logan's loud mouth.
Hey, watch what you say.
We were simply at the wrong place at the wrong time.
We didn't have anything to do with Carly Dean. She was just some chick we were put in a group with.
She wasn't just some chick. She's a person who's missing, and they're just trying to find her, Kyler.
Okay, John, buddy, seriously, you've got to stop kissing the police asses.
All of you listen. We are under the investigation of the disappearance of Carly Dean. We will ask you everything that happened earlier today before she went missing. And you better tell us the truth. Because a young girl's life is at stake. And if we find out you were responsible for anything that happened to her, you can and will be charged with...
Needless to say, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Be careful what you say around these kids. If you go around throwing accusations like that, you could scare them.
They would do them well, especially if they're responsible. These kids knew exactly what they were doing when they chose to go that far out of camp. They're involved in this somehow. These aren't just witnesses, Marsh. They're suspects. I don't know about you, but I am trying to solve this case. So if I were you, I would start listening to me and stop trying to take charge of this investigation.
I would say the same to you, Stillwell. I'm an investigator on this case. I know you're angry that I replaced your old partner, but...
Don't bring up my partner again. You hear me?
I'm only saying that I'm your partner now. It may not be what you wanted, but trust me, those feelings are mutual. So I suggest that you stop undermining my ability as an officer and start treating me with some respect. I am here to find Carly Dean, and that is it. After this, we can find a way to get away from each other. But until then, we work together to save this girl's life. Do you hear me? Now let's get them talking.
Scene 2. The scene again opens in the cabin, but this time before previous scene. Here we have the 5 teens waiting anxiously for the officers to arrive, but now we see their perspective.
What are we gonna do? The police officers are gonna be in here any second to ask about Carly Dean, and I don't know what to tell them.
We don't tell them anything. We have to keep our mouths shut. Like they say in those cop movies. We have the right to remain silent, right?
Idiot! That'll only make us more suspicious.
We We can't tell them what actually happened, so what do we say?
Well, anything but the truth.
Well, we can't lie.
We'll have to if we want to keep out of jail. You want to keep out of jail, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, then you all need to shut up so we can get our story straight.
I agree with Alissa on this one. We can't tell the officers stories that don't match.
Then what's our story?
Well, first of all, none of us had this conversation. You got it?
Got it.
All right, so we need to make a story that's believable, yet can be proven with evidence, and we can't just say she disappeared out of thin air or anything like that. We need to come up with something that's, I don't know.
Guys, Miss Brandy's coming with 2 officers. Hurry, act natural.
Thank you so much for coming, officers. The other counselors and I are way out of our power with this one. We've never had a camper disappear before.
What are we supposed to do now?
We haven't figured out our story yet.
Well, there isn't much we can do now that there are 2 policemen in here.
Then what are we going to say when they ask us what happened here today?
I don't know, babe. We're just gonna have to lie.
No, don't lie. Just stretch the truth. We need to stay true to the story until that moment.
I don't know that I can handle this any longer. You know how I am. I'm a good kid. I hardly get into trouble, much less the kind of trouble that can lead to jail time.
Okay, would you just calm down, you worrywart?
Be quiet. We don't want them to hear us.
No dip, Sherlock!
Okay, we have no time to establish a story, so we have to improvise. Now, if we just keep saying
Now, you 5, behave yourselves. These officers are here to do their job, and I expect you show them the utmost respect they deserve. Do I make myself clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if we're interrogated individually, there's nothing we can do. But right now, we're out of walls.
Well, what do we do?
We can come up with a story of how she disappeared in the first place.
How are we supposed to do that when there are 2 cops with us in the room as we speak?
Good. Now, tell me what we know about these kids.
Okay, we were making a logo, right? And she got supplies from Miss Brandy. So let's just say she went to get art supplies and she just never came back.
That's good. That way it would take us away from where we actually were.
Shh! They could hear you!
It would also make Miss Brandy the last person to see her instead of us.
That's good. We'd be off the hook. Good thinking, babe.
Thanks, I just...
Stop it with the couple stuff.
May I interject?
Ew, do you have to say it like that?
Pick on me all you want, but listen, we turned in our project, right? So Carly Dean obviously came back with the art supplies. Wouldn't they question how we're able to make our logo with no art supplies?
I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far yet.
Alyssa, you're the one who's supposed to know this stuff. After all, it was...
What? What did I say about keeping your mouth shut, Logan?
Hey, how about we just say that she told us she wasn't feeling good, and so she went back to her cabin.
You're so smart, babe.
That's good. It would put us away from Carly Dean and give us a reason for not warning Miss Brandy. Are we all agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. Sir, what are we here for?
Isn't it obvious? They think we have something to do with Carly Dean.
That's crazy. I hardly know the girl. Dude, can we just go?
Now, I am an officer of the law. Do not call me dude.
We didn't do anything, officer.
We never said you did.
Anyway, I'm Officer Marsh.
I am Officer Stillwell, and that is my partner, Officer Marsh.
Hello, officers. I'm John Baldwin.
And who gave you permission to speak?
No one, sir.
Then be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Dude, go easy on the kid. He's a suck-up.
I beg your pardon?
A suck-up, also known as a kiss-up, a teacher's pet, or yes man. He can't help that he needs to be liked by everyone all the time.
At least I'm not a prankster like you are, Logan.
Would you two just shut up?
Oh, like I'd do anything you tell me to do.
Logan,
No, I don't have to take orders from her. Alissa thinks she's the boss of me, and guess what? She isn't.
keep your mouth shut, mister, or you will find yourself in a holding cell for the night.
That's a bit extreme, Stillwell. Maybe we should just
Look, lady, I didn't even want to be at the stupid camp in the first place, let alone be stuck here listening to Logan's loud mouth.
Hey, I would watch what you say.
We were simply at the wrong place at the wrong time.
We didn't have anything to do with Carly Dean. She was just some chick we were put in a group with.
She wasn't just some chick. She's a person who's missing, and they're just trying to find her, Kyler.
Okay, seriously, John, buddy, you've got to stop kissing the police officers' asses.
All of you listen. We are under the investigation of the disappearance of Carly Dean. We will ask you everything that happened earlier today before she went missing. And you better tell us the truth, because a young girl's life is at stake. And if we find out that you were responsible for anything that happened to her, you can and will be charged with.
Needless to say, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
John, what the hell were you thinking? You could have blown our cover trying to get a freaking gold star.
I know it looked bad, but they need to have someone who they think will tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I am that person. I made myself known as that person, and you helped by telling them I was a kiss-up. Shouldn't have any problems with believing me now.
But still, that was a close one. We had no idea if you were gonna... What?
Just listen, shh.
So if I were you, I would start listening to me and stop trying to take charge of this investigation.
I would say the same to you, Stillwell. I'm an investigator on this case. I know that you're angry that I replaced your old partner, but...
Don't bring up my partner again. You hear me?
I'm only saying that I'm your partner now. It may not be what you wanted, but trust me, those feelings are mutual.
They don't like each other, so they'll be too busy butting heads to focus on us. Guys, I think we can get off scot-free. We just have to be smart about it.
Oh, I hate to admit it, but you're right.
I don't know. It seems kind of risky.
Well, I know that, but it's our only option.
Now let's get them talking.
Scene 3. The scene opens in the cabin. This is a collection of time from all of the interrogations Officer Stillwell and Officer Marsh conduct. We are able to see each separate teen at the same time giving their eyewitness accounts to the officers, as well as what happened earlier that day.
Now that we have you here, alone, what happened earlier today?
I don't really know.
Why should I tell you?
I'm not so sure. You see, my hunger is starting to get to me.
You need to talk. And you need to talk now. You're all by yourself. So your friends can't help you.
Can you just walk us through the story?
Sure.
Fine.
Whatever.
Yes, ma'am.
So it all started with us being assigned to the same group.
We were all put in the same group.
Miss Brandy was in charge of making the groups.
Each group had 3 girls and 3 guys to keep it fair. Of course, I got stuck in the group with the kiss-up, the jokester, the couple, and Carly Dean.
I never knew Carly Dean before today. I mean, I knew she went to camp, but we never had any camp activities together, so I never talked to her.
I know she was in my cabin one year, but she mainly kept to herself.
What were we talking about again? Oh, right. Hunger.
We had to go to the list to find out who was in our group, and then after that, we came up with a time and a place to meet up. And when that time came, I was the first one there.
I met the group with Eliana next.
Then I showed up.
And last but not least,
Carly
Carly
Dean.
Dean showed up.
Shut up.
Was she excited to be in the group?
I'm not really sure. I think she was reading a book or something.
She wasn't really paying attention. She was listening to music or something.
I don't know, and I don't really care.
All right. Who was the first to speak?
Carly Dean.
Carly Dean.
What did she say?
She said something like,
So are you guys ready for the project? Already have some ideas for what we can do.
Great. Can you just do it so I can sign my name at the bottom?
Just ignore. Carly Dean, is it?
Yes.
Well, don't worry. I'll be helping you with this project because sadly, we got stuck in a group of people who don't participate.
I participate.
Huh, it looks like no one grabbed any art supplies. I guess I could get some. I'm sure Mrs. Brandy has something artsy in her office.
She went to get supplies and she came back a little bit later. I'm not really sure what happened once she left, but when she came back, we went ahead and started working.
It was really coming together. I could tell that our logo was going to win.
The project was an absolute mess. John could not stop spilling glue everywhere. Carly Dean was trying so hard not to get mad.
Is she a perfectionist?
Seemed like it.
I'd say so. When she was in my cabin last year, she always had the cleanest bunk. She never left anything out of place. She was always so tidy. Maybe a little too tidy, if that makes sense.
Marsh! Okay, so back to working on the project, please.
Yes, well, Carly Dean was working really hard. Harder than most of us, really.
Hey, Alissa, can you give me that marker next to your foot?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Why didn't you just give her the marker?
It was so close to her, she could have reached it herself. Plus, I was in the middle of not caring.
Didn't your parents ever teach you any bloody manners?
Excuse me?
The marker was right there. Would it have killed you to pick it up and handed it to her?
It's no big deal. I have the marker now.
No, you know what? It is a big deal. Alissa acts like she can do whatever she wants. Apparently, she was raised by coyotes.
Watch what you say.
I mean, that would explain the hair, am I right?
Dude,
No, I mean, look at her. Does she even own a brush?
You talk about my parents one more time, and I swear.
You swore what?
Doesn't matter. I got the point across.
Okay, I think we're almost done.
Almost? We've been at this for almost an hour now.
By we, you mean me, right? I don't see you putting in any effort.
Whatever.
Alissa, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
Where? The zoo?
Logan!
No, Logan, it has to be somewhere, though. You just look familiar. Have you been to camp before?
I have.
Oh, maybe that's where I know your face from. I definitely would have remembered you if we had talked or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, John, can you pass me the scissors?
as time went on, she kept moving around a lot.
Yeah, she kept getting things that she needed, and she kept getting up and moving around.
It was really hot outside that day.
And we were all sweating.
And we hadn't had a water break in a while.
So you're saying she got dehydrated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she wasn't feeling.
She wasn't feeling well. Continue.
She started to complain.
Wow, it's really hot out here.
A lot.
Is it just me, or am I the only one sweating? The sun is so bright, it's hurting my eyes a bit. Hey, when do we have to turn this in? When do we get a water break? Ah, the sun! I'm melting!
Okay, so she didn't quite say that.
Okay, and after all of the complaining, what happened?
She said?
She
She
said,
said,
I'm not feeling so good. I'm going to head back to my cabin and get some rest.
She said that.
Yeah.
Yep.
yes.
So she just got up, said she wasn't feeling well, and left?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She just left the project and everything. Just left. And that was the last time you saw her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that story one bit. There's more you aren't telling us. Now spit it out.
But I'm telling the truth. I'm the kiss up, remember?
I wasn't even paying attention.
I didn't do anything.
When can we eat?
I swear that's all that happened.
They're lying.
Scene 4. The scene opens with Officer Stillwell and Officer Marsh walking out of the cabin around 11 p.m. The interrogations are over, and the teens are back at their own cabins now, but the officers are still hard at work to solve the case.
They're lying, Marsh. They're all a bunch of liars. Telling us this amateur lie to keep out of trouble. What do they think they're doing? Fooling us?
Stillwell, calm down.
They have no respect for authority, much less their peers. They don't care about what happens to Carly Dean. All they care about is themselves. How are we supposed to work with this? How are we going to crack the truth out of these kids?
I don't know. Without their eyewitness accounts, there isn't much we can do. Those 5 were the last to see Carly Dean. They are the only ones who know what happened to her.
We're going to have to be harder with them.
Harder than we have been. Still, they're just kids.
Kids with lying consciences.
But still, kids. They don't respond to big officers yelling at them, especially if they're already scared.
They need to be scared. They should be ashamed of what they...
We don't even know if they did anything yet. For all we know, they could be innocent.
Innocent people don't lie, Marsh.
But scared people do.
There must be some evidence we're missing.
Matthew,
We must have missed something.
we've gone over the reports 1,000 times.
We're missing something, Marsh.
Today at 3:36 p.m., we received a call from Camp Layside saying they had a missing persons case. She is a 17-year-old named Carly Dean Langston with brown eyes and brown hair. When we arrived, there were only 5 witnesses. 5 teens with the names of Eliana Bays, Kyler Jones, John Baldwin, Alissa Hans, and Logan Everts. They were all the last to see Carly Dean. Their witness account states that she wasn't feeling well, so she went to her cabin and never came back.
Okay. Maybe it isn't in the reports. It has to be in them. In the kids. They know what happened. They're just hiding it. We have to.
Matthew! It's past 11. It's been dark for hours now. Those kids need some sleep. We need some sleep.
But Marsh, you don't.
Good night, officer.
Scene 5. The scene opens back in the cabin. Officer Stillwell has been working for hours now and sits at a table surrounded by case files and witness accounts. He sits there, alone, under dim lighting, trying to find the answers.
Must be missing something. There has to be. The girl doesn't just vanish. Ugh. Good for nothing cabin lights. Okay. Where is that damn light switch? Hey,
Hello.
how did you... What are you doing here, kid? This cabin is for interrogating. Only officers are allowed.
You don't recognize me.
No. Why would... Wait. You're... Pause. You're the missing girl, aren't you? You're Carly Dean. Wait right here. Hey, everyone! Found her! Carly Dean! She's here! Hello? Marsh? Susan? That's strange. You sit here and I'm gonna call someone.
That won't work.
What do you mean that won't work?
I mean, it won't work.
Hey, you can't look at that!
Them!
What are you talking about? And give me that. That is confidential and...
Them!
Those 5 teams. What about them?
Them.
What do you mean, them? What?
You failed.
I beg your pardon?
You failed.
How? You're alive, aren't you? Case closed.
Am I?
What the hell kind of game are you trying to play with me, young lady?
No game.
Then sit down while I get...
You failed!
I did not fail. You are alive, and I have done everything I can to keep it that way.
Like you did for your partner?
Who? Marsh?
No, not Karen.
You're not making any sense.
I know what happened.
What do you mean?
It was that case. That one case that changed everything.
Case? What case?
Your last case before Karen.
My last case before Marsh? Wait, how do you know about that?
It was late, and you were tired.
How do you know about this? I demand you stop.
You were driving. Your partner Ron was asleep along in the passenger seat.
How do you know about Ron?
Your eyes blinked for just a moment.
Carly Dean, how do you know this?
You fell asleep along with Ron.
As an officer of the law, I demand you stop now.
No one was awake to turn the wheel.
Stop talking.
You opened your eyes to 2 bright lights.
Stop. Please.
You crashed.
No.
Time went by in slow motion.
No. No.
And eventually, you look through your windshield where it used to be
Please.
to see Ron lying on the concrete. You couldn't save him. He died in your arms that night.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to. I would never hurt my partner like that.
Then why do you treat Karen like that?
What does Marsh have to do with all of this?
You treat her differently than Ron.
Because I love Ron like a brother. Marsh is just an officer I've been assigned to work with.
Or maybe you're too scared to lose her like you lost Ron.
No, that's not.
You constantly push Karen away. One day she won't be around to push away anymore, and you'll be alone without a partner again.
How do you know all of this?
Look at the papers again.
I asked you a question.
And I told you to look at the case files.
Why the case files?
Someone isn't who they say they are.
Who?
A.H.
A.H. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
I think it's time for you to wake up.
What?
Officer Stillwell, wake up, honey. Wake up. Wake up.
Huh? What?
It's 8 a.m. Oh, hun, have you been here all night?
It appears so.
Come on up, sweetheart.
I found her.
Carly Dean? Oh, you must have been dreaming. You were saying her name an awful lot.
It was a dream?
Are you all right, officer?
Yeah. Just have a crick in the neck.
You must have been sleeping at the wrong angle. Happens to the best of us.
Angle. A-H.
Yes. Anyways, breakfast will be served soon. Would you like to join me and Officer?
A-H.
I met Officer Marsh. Are you
A-H.
sure everything is all right?
A-H. A-H. Alissa Hans.
What about her?
What about her indeed?
I'm not sure I follow.
Yeah, sure. What else does Alissa have to do with it?
That's what I asked you.
Where's my laptop?
Under those files.
Okay. Alissa Hans. What are you hiding?
What? What?
That can't be.
What can't be? What?
Then who? Oh?
Oh?
A-H. Alissa Hans. That's the connection. That's it.
That's it.
I've got it. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, you're welcome, dear. So, do you want to head down with me for breakfast? Oh, he's already gone. Guess he must really like breakfast.
Scene 6. The scene opens outside of the cabin in the early morning. Officer Stillwell comes running out of the cabin with answers he just found with Mrs. Brandy and catches Officer Marsh on her way to the cabin.
Marsh!
Matthew, what are you doing scaring me like that?
Sorry, but I've got to talk to you.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
Then why are you running around yelling my name at 8 in the morning?
Look, I can explain. It's been
Did
a
you
long...
even sleep last night? You look tired.
Okay, yeah, I went to sleep all right, and in my dream,
I'm sorry, did you say in your dream?
Look, that's not really important right now. It's...
Now come on. Tell me about your dream.
Okay, that is besides the point, Marsh.
Ah,
just-
so it wasn't breakfast you were after all. It was the girl.
What? No. Susan, can we have some privacy, please? It's police business.
Yes. Police business.
I would assume so. I'll see you two later.
What are you getting at, Matthew?
Listen, it doesn't really matter how I came to realize this, but Alissa Hans isn't who she says she is.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Look, doesn't matter, just take this.
I don't see anything peculiar about this. It's Alissa Hans, age 17, looks the same as yesterday.
Look under DOD.
Date of death, that can't... She's dead?
No, that Alissa Hans is dead. Our Alissa Hans is actually Katie.
Katie Hans, how did you even...
Click that tab. The Hans family died in a car accident 2 years ago. Everyone died, except Katie.
But if she survived, why would she keep...
Click the next tab.
Oh my. She wasn't in the car with her family. She wasn't the one that hit them. Oh God. It says here that her sister was in a coma for 2 days before the doctors declared that she no longer had any brain activity. That's just awful. But wait. So she took her sister's name and I guess changed her appearance. But why? To keep a low profile?
That's what I'm not so sure about. You see, Katie switched the names in their medical records.
Oh, so that made it look like Katie wasn't the one in the coma.
Yes. Then the real Alissa died. There was no time for them to even think about charging Katie with involuntary manslaughter. However, when Katie changed the papers, there wasn't a reason to do so, because nothing had been decided yet. So her motive is unclear.
Strange. And wow, it says here that she then went to Slidell's home for children after the incident.
Indeed. She got away with it all. To cover in an orphanage.
How did you even find this out?
Well, during her scam, she didn't think about the police reports taken for the crash. The names remained unchanged in there. I assume someone didn't file their paperwork, and that's why it's been hidden for so long. I know what she did. I've read it. I've examined it. And I know how she got away with it. I just don't know why she did it.
Wait, I'm confused. What does this have to do with Carly Dean?
I don't know.
You don't know? Then why are you spending so much time explaining this to me when we could be actually working?
No, it's not like that.
Then what is it like? Gosh, Matthew.
What?
I can't believe you. The moment I think we are finally getting along, you choose to send me on a wild goose chase.
I'm not... Listen, I don't know how this all connects. I just know it does.
And I'm just supposed to believe you.
Well, yes.
Well, yes? Is that all you have to say? You know what? I thought we could have been good partners. And to think, I even thought we could become friends. But now I know that's completely...
Marsh!
What?
If I told you where I came up with this, you would think I'm crazy. But I found it. It's there. It's real evidence. I don't know how it ties in, but don't you think it's a little suspicious Katie is pretending to be Alissa?
Well, yes, it's suspicious, but I still don't see how this...
Listen, you don't have to believe me. You don't even have to talk to me. All I know is that I am not going to let Carly Dean spend one more minute lost and afraid. I'm going to find her. And maybe this new information about Katie leads us to her, or maybe it doesn't. But those kids are hiding something. I know it. I mean, Katie was living a whole other double life, and we figured that out. I'm working with what I have, Marsh. It's not like we have Carly Dean to tell us what happened.
But what if we did?
Did you not hear a thing?
I think I have a plan.
Scene 7. The scene opens in the early morning in the cafeteria. Alissa enters the cafeteria for breakfast and takes a table, thinking to sit by herself. However, Logan enters shortly after and goes to sit next to Alissa. Then Dawn enters and sees that Alissa and Logan have chosen to sit together and joins. Eliana and Kyler follow by joining the table and sitting next to each other.
Do you think we got away with it?
I'm not sure.
I mean, we should have. We gave them what they wanted to hear.
Yeah, except for the truth.
Guys, why are you talking about this right now? People could be listening.
Yeah, right. Oh no! No one is on full spy mode right now.
Logan, this is not a joke.
If we say anything that the cops shouldn't hear, then they're going to arrest us on the spot. Do you want that?
No.
I think that we would all rather go home and spend the rest of our lives in jail.
Yeah, we all want to go home to our mommies and cry, Kyler, but now is not the time.
I didn't say anything about crying mommies.
Now you did.
Logan, would you stop trying to be funny for 1 second?
Okay, but why would I?
Maybe because it's annoying.
To me, you're all annoying. I swear if it wasn't for all this, I'd be sitting at a table all by myself, just the way I like it.
Eliana and I we'd be
Hanging out. Like we always do.
Ooh. Yeah, sure, hanging out. Oh,
I would be able to sleep at night. How much longer are we going to have to hold off? I don't think I can take this any longer. I mean, what we did.
Stop saying that like something happened when we all know
It
that.
isn't right we have to tell someone. She could still be out there for all we know. She could even be...
What? Dead?
Alissa!
What? We were all thinking it, weren't we? What if Carly Dean is dead? Huh. If she is, there isn't much we can do about it now.
Wow.
It's not like we meant for any of this to happen.
Well, duh. None of us chose the camp activity where we get questioned by the police about a girl that's dead.
what do you mean by a girl that's dead?
Well, you know what I mean.
Keep your voice down.
What if she is dead? It would be all our faults.
Not mine. I didn't do anything.
Logan, this was your idea from the start. If she's dead, if we go to jail, it'll be all your fault.
Oh, like hell it will. Alissa was the one who...
No! We all know what happened, and we all know what we agreed on. If one person goes down, we all do. So stop trying to play the blame game.
I still think we should tell Officer Stillwell and Officer Marsh everything. It'll be easier, and maybe they won't be so hard on us.
No, we stick to the lie.
But she's been out there all night. She needs to be found soon.
We can't do anything for her right now. We need to focus on protecting ourselves.
John, I know you're scared, but we can't tell the truth. You understand that, right? Right?
Come with us.
Scene 8. The scene opens back in the cabin after the officers lead the teens to another questioning. The teens all sit next to each other as the officers address them all.
Last night, about an hour after we finished interrogating everyone, we got a call. About a quarter mile from here, a girl was found wandering around in the woods. That girl happened to be Carly Dean.
That's great. Is she okay?
She's in the nearest hospital. She's alive, but she has a long recovery ahead of her.
That's good, right? She's okay, so we can go back to normal now.
Not quite.
What do you mean, not quite?
We met with her this morning to see what happened yesterday.
And she was more than willing to tell us everything we needed to know.
But we are giving you the chance to tell your side of the story to ensure you won't get in as much trouble as you could.
What would we need to say?
You can't be serious, John.
Don't say anything.
It's not like they don't know. Carly Dean has already confessed, and if we don't say something, that means jail time.
This is just a lie to get us to start talking.
Hey, speak fast or the offer's gone.
We tried to pull a prank on her.
Dude,
I'm sorry. I like pranks and all, but this was too much. Carly Dean could have died. But she's okay. She told him everything. We're all okay. It's over.
Thank you, Logan, for being honest.
Anyone else?
Well,
You can't really be considering.
I don't think we have much of a choice. Logan and Carly Dean both have said something happened yesterday. There's no point in lying anymore.
she's right, Alissa. We need to tell the truth.
I can't believe this.
It's for the best.
Not for us.
Stop arguing. It won't get you anywhere.
Let's just all calm down, okay? Now, can you tell us what really happened yesterday?
Well, you know that we were assigned in groups.
And how we found out who was in our group and we met at a certain place.
And you know that Carly Dean was the last one to get there.
I remember she was doing something.
Wasn't she listening to music or something?
No, she's reading a book, remember?
So, are you guys ready for the project? I already have some ideas for what we can do.
I can't believe this. This is just a bluff.
I assure you, this is no bluff.
Then Alissa said,
Great. Can you just do it so I can sign my name at the bottom?
just ignore her. Carly Dean, is it?
Yes.
Well, don't worry. I'll be helping you with this project because sadly we got stuck in a group of people who don't participate.
I participate. Before I said I didn't know what happened once she left, but the truth is I did know. I just didn't want to say.
Yeah, me too.
It's because there was a lot that happened in between that we didn't really want you to know.
Now is the time to finally tell us.
Well, you already know how Carly Dean noticed that we didn't have any supplies. Now she offered to go get them for us.
I guess we can grab the art supplies. I'll go get some. I'm sure Mrs. Brandy has something artsy in her office.
Okay, bye. We were glad to see her go. She was kind of bossy and uptight, even though we hadn't even started yet. And when she left, I turned around and said, "Hey, you guys want to pull a prank on her?"
Hell yeah. Let's get back at her for being such an uptight ass. Telling us she already has ideas. It's like she wanted to be at camp or something.
Some people enjoy Camp Lakeside, Alissa.
I have my reasons.
I don't think a prank is the best idea for fun.
Come on, live a little. This will probably be the first time you aren't the one being pranked. So Logan, what do you have in mind?
Okay. So I have a couple of ideas, right? One of them is we could make her go look for something, right? And then when she turned around, she's gone, and she's in the middle of the wood by herself. We could even, do the
No, dude. We need her here. She's willing to do the whole project by herself.
I can do it.
That's more like it, John.
Ooh, this will be fun. So what is she going to search for?
Got it. So she likes mystery stuff, right?
She loves it. She talked about it 24/7 at camp last year.
Yeah, she's reading this mystery novel, so she must like it.
Dude, let's tell her the story of the Lakeside Killer.
The what?
Don't tell me you haven't heard the story.
I guess I must have missed it.
Oh, well. It's some tall tale about how some guy was killed for walking in the middle of the night. They used to tell it to all the new campers to keep them from wandering around, but they kind of had to stop this year because kids were having nightmares and refusing to leave their cabins.
But this isn't Carly Dean's first year at camp, so she probably knows the story.
Then let's just switch it up a bit, make it different. Turn the guy into a girl, add some mystery into it, bada bing, bada boom, instant story.
Well, how is that a prank? Just telling someone some stupid story doesn't do anything.
Like I said, we'll make her look for something.
Oh, I know. How about the remains? Of the dead girl?
Yes, babe, you're so smart.
Do we all have to walk out there with her?
Come on, don't be a wuss.
She's coming.
Hey guys, what are you talking about?
Different kinds of paints.
Really?
Sure. Let's just get started on the project.
So we began working on the logo. Carly Dean and I were working while the others did nothing. I wasn't much help though. Carly Dean wanted the logo a certain way and I just couldn't do it right.
John, the glue doesn't go there, it goes here.
I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can.
Here, just let me do it.
Let's start the prank now. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
That's the John we all like.
So, Logan, How are we gonna start it?
You'll see.
Then what happened?
Well, I told her the story. I talked about how this girl went out one night and was killed. I said how they never found the remains, but she was said to have died near the river.
How did she respond?
Where did she die? Maybe the remains could be hidden.
Oh, do I smell adventure?
Well, it's gotta be more fun than this.
Oh, this'll be fun. Where are we going?
Far down west, to the clearest water.
Dude,
The river. We're going to the river.
We started walking.
And it was hot outside.
but we kept going.
Until we finally made it there.
Here it is.
Wow, it's so peaceful out here.
Yeah, it must have been a great place to die, right?
That's not what I meant.
Whatever. So where's this body supposed to be?
Somewhere over here, near the edge.
Wait, I think I see something. Babe!
Yep, me too.
What? What?
Don't you dare finish that story! Don't you dare!
Then Alissa pushed Carly Dean into the river.
What did I say?
She was screaming.
We were panicking.
We didn't want to push her in.
We were just gonna throw something of hers in there, or
what?
or leave her there without her clothes.
What?
People do it at camp all the time. It's a tradition.
Usually they do it with new campers, but we thought, why not?
It's not like we were actually gonna do it. It was just a last resort.
But Alissa pushed Carly Dean into the river.
And it was high and rushing.
Shut up!
So we tried to get her out.
Alissa, what the hell did you just do?
I got rid of her.
Hurry! Someone hand me that stick. I can't reach her.
Wait, she's okay.
What?
She's over there. She's holding onto that fallen branch.
Thank God. Hold on, Carly Dean. We're gonna get you.
Alissa, what were you thinking? You could have killed her.
So, I mean, she was a pain in the ass. It would have done the world some good to have her leave it, right?
What the hell are you talking about, Alissa?
I wasn't going to miss my chance.
What chance?
Stop! Stop!
What chance? What did she say after that?
She said,
My chance for revenge. So get out of here now.
or else.
And if you tell anyone,
You will regret it.
Then what happened?
we ran back to camp.
And we left her there with Carly Dean still in the river.
And Carly Dean could have died because of it.
Could have.
Excuse me?
I killed her!
But Officer Stillwell said that.
Believing them. I told you it was all a hoax, didn't I?
Brandy, oh no.
Damn it, Marsh.
I'm sorry, it slipped out.
That was our only leverage.
Who's Katie?
You're looking right at her. I'm Katie. Katie Hans. Alissa was my sister's name before she died.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know what? Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing. It doesn't make sense how no one could see who the real Carly Dean was. All you see was her sweet exterior, her quirks, or her sweet appearance. You couldn't see her utter ignorance and pure evil that she possessed. Carly Dean is the reason for all of my suffering and pain, and she didn't even know it. The night I drove head on into my family's car was the first night I met Carly Dean. It was just some stupid party. And at first, all I saw was her quirks, too. We hung out most of the night, but never exchanged names, and it was so dark you could barely make out each other's faces in the crowd. But her face I still see as clear as day. And as the night went on, she handed me drink after drink, and she just drank after drink, and until we were so drunk that we could barely finish a single sentence. But apparently, Carly Dean was able to persuade me to get into a car, and she turned the ignition for me. She laughed, and she thought it was funny, so I just went along. My mom, my dad, and my sister died in that crash because of her. She caused all of this. Nothing was happening to her. She was guilty, yet she just got away with it all. I have always wanted revenge, but I had no idea how to find her. Until one time, just at the right moment, fate brought us together, and all with a good old trip to Camp Layside. Of course, she didn't remember me at all from that night. And right when I finally thought I could get my revenge, she attacked. She picked me, of all people, to be stripped and left in the cold, dark woods overnight like I was nothing. Not only did she take my family from me, but she just had to add to my suffering. And the worst part is, she still didn't know me. She just picked me out at random. So this year, I came back, and she didn't recognize me. Not fully. Not enough to know what was going to happen. Carly Dean was the only face in my mind for all of these years, and she didn't even recognize mine. Of course, until the moment where I picked up that rock. And when I did, her expression changed. She was afraid. And she connected all the dots. Finally, she saw me. And she said, "I know you now from that night, from the party." And I replied, "No, you don't. Not anymore." And I watched her fall into the washing water, lifeless. The girl who never remembered died forgotten.
Katie Hans, you are under arrest for the murder of Carly Dean Langston.
Got my ribbon.
Scene 9. The scene opens outside of the cabin. Some time has gone by since the confession. Officer Stillwell has sat at the bench, going over the case files for some time now. Officer Marsh joins him.
Hey,
Hey. Have they picked up Katie yet?
yes. Bill came down and took her back to the station.
Have they found Carly Dean?
They have.
Is she?
Yes.
You know, I wish she lay. Katie, I wish that Carly Dean was safe.
Me too. It's horrible for things like this to happen to kids so young. So many futures were altered this weekend.
I should have done something else. Maybe if we found her sooner, or...
Matthew, there's nothing we could have done. What happened happened. We can't change that.
I know. I just feel like...
Like what?
Can I tell you something?
Anything.
You, know that dream I had?
I know of it, but not what it was about.
Well, during my dream, I was looking over the case files, and the lights went out, and then Carly Dean walked in. She told me I failed her like I did Ron. How...
Matthew, you can't blame yourself for the death of others.
I know. It's just... This girl was so young. And it just like Ron. He was only 24, Karen. He was a rookie. He had so much to live for, and I just fell asleep at the wheel. Katie was under the influence. We both killed people, Marsh, in our own way. We're both killers.
Do not compare yourself to her. Do you hear me? You are nothing like her. You are a police officer. You help people.
I know, but with Ron...
What happened to Ron was an accident. You can't blame yourself, just like Katie shouldn't have blamed Carly Dean. The idea of blame keeps you in the moment and in the pain. Don't allow yourself to get eaten by alive. You're healing, Matthew, and healing takes time. And remember that you help people. You really do. And I think it's time for you to help yourself.
Scene 10. The scene opens in the cabin. There, the remaining teens sit with their packed luggage next to them. Officer Stillwell and Officer Marsh enter the cabin and approach Mrs. Brandy.
So I heard they found her body.
Yes, they did.
Oh dear. It's awful that this happened. These kids don't deserve this kind of trauma at such a young age. I just wish there was something I could have done to... Oh my. I have to go. Carly Dean's parents will be here soon. Thank you, officers, for all that you've done.
Susan,
Yes, officer?
thank you for your help today. And don't blame yourself. You did all you could.
Thank you, officer. I just wish I could have done more, you know? I mean, I could have ended that stupid tradition years ago. I could have made them stay closer to the center of the camp. I could have not even made
This
them...
isn't your fault, Susan. No. You did the right thing. You called us in. Don't forget that.
Do you want me to tell them? I would understand with what just happened.
No. It's fine. I can.
Is it true?
Is she dead?
I'm afraid so.
Was it painful?
Well, we will have to
No.
remedy it.
I don't believe it was.
What's gonna happen to Alissa? I mean, Katie.
You really don't need to worry about her.
Then what about us?
You'll be going home.
So we aren't in trouble?
There might be some future court dates, but for now, you're free to go.
But we lied.
Alissa, I mean, Katie told us to.
And then we left Carly Dean there alone with Katie. Wouldn't that...
You were scared, and sometimes scared people lie. The courts will go easy on you.
Your parents are waiting for you in the cafeteria to take you home if you want to go grab your things.
Officer Stillwell, Marsh, thank you for caring about us and Carly Dean.
It's all part of the job.
Those poor kids. I really hope they'll be able to heal after all of this.
They will. In time. Let's go home, partner.
everyone. So that's the end of the play. I want to thank you all for tuning in to watch it. Remember, we have one more show tomorrow at 2:30, same time, if you're interested in coming to that. These will also be available to watch afterwards, after all the shows are done, of course. Again, I want to thank you all. Can we just have a good old round of applause for the wonderful cast? And I hope you all have a wonderful day. So, bye.